Brock Lesnar did not destroy Oba Femi. WWE used him. And that one sentence changes the entire story. Because the easy take is obvious. Brock came back, Brock attacked Oba from behind, Brock hit him with the F5 after F5, so now everybody is screaming the same thing. Oba got buried. No, that is the lazy version. If WWE wanted to bury Oba Femi, they would not need Brock Lesnar. They would just cool him off quietly. One random loss, 1 week segment, one slow drop down the card. But that is not what happened. WWE brought back the most protected monster of the modern era, aimed him directly at Oba Femi, and made the whole company feel dangerous again. That is not a burial. That is a test. And the test is simple. Is Oba Femi just another big man, or is he the next final boss? Look at the story. Oba beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Brock leaves the boots, the gloves. Everybody thinks the beast is done. He's finished. Then Raw happens. Brock returns. But he does not walk up to Oba face to face. He does not challenge him like a warrior. He does not prove he is better in the middle of the ring. He blindsides him, and that detail is what matters here. Because this is Brock Lesnar. Brock does not usually need shortcuts. Brock is the shortcut. For years, WWE has trained the audience to believe Brock is the emergency button. When somebody needs to be humbled, send Brock. When somebody needs to be destroyed, send Brock. When the company needs violence, send Brock. So when that same Brock Lesnar returns and attacks Oba Femi from behind, WWE is not telling you Oba is weak. WWE is telling you Oba is dangerous enough that even Brock chose the blind side. That is clue number 1. Clue number 2 is even louder. Brock did not hit just one F5. He kept going and going. And in wrestling, in WWE, that matters. 1 F5 says Brock is back. 2 F5 says Brock is pissed. But multiple F5s, I think it was like 5. This says Brock had to make sure that Oba was down. That means Oba was not treated like a normal victim. He was treated like something that needed to be contained. That is why the attack worked. Brock looked violent. Brock looked dangerous. Brock looked like the beast again. But Oba also looked like a man who needed the full Brock Lesnar treatment just to stay down. That is not destruction. That is overkill, and overkill protects the monster taking it. Because the audience starts asking the question WWE wants them to ask. Why did it take that much? Why did Brock keep going? 1 F5 was not enough? Brock did not expose Oba as weak. He exposed how much damage it takes to even stop him. And here's the thing. Oba needed this. Not because he was failing. Because he was becoming too dominant for the room around him. Open challenges worked out at first. A monster walks out like him. Somebody steps up. And then they're crushed. But after a while, that dominance becomes routine. And routines kills monsters like them. If nobody credible steps up like the way Oba did to Brock, the monster stops feeling dangerous and starts feeling trapped. And that was the risk. He was becoming bigger than the people WWE could put even in front of him. So WWE needed someone who could change the temperature. Someone who usually does. Someone who could threaten Oba without shrinking him. They're basically the same weight and height. That's Brock. This is why Brock did not interrupt Oba's push. Brock became the next phase of it. Phase Brock. Because monsters are fun when they destroy people. But monsters become legends when another monster comes looking for them. And then Paul Heyman makes the whole thing even more suspicious. Because after Brock lays out Oba, Heyman is right there with the contract. Obviously, that's not random. That was not just Brock losing his temper. This was business. Heyman doesn't show up for meaningless violence. Heyman shows up when there's leverage. He shows up when the company is about to revolve around one dangerous match. So ask the real question. Did Brock come back because he could not handle losing? Or did WWE bring back Brock because Oba Femi needed the one opponent who could turn him from a rising star into a main event attraction? That is why the rematch matters. Sure, WrestleMania proved Oba could beat Brock once, but the rematch asks an even darker question. Can Oba survive Brock when Brock is humiliated, when he's pissed off? Can Oba survive Brock when he is that furious? So this is not a normal rematch. That is WWE putting Oba under the most pressure possible. And this is where WWE has to be really careful. Brock simply walks through Oba clean. WWE creates confusion. Why did he even beat him in the first place at WrestleMania? Why tease Brock's retirement? Why connect Oba to Brock's legacy just to make him in another body on the floor? That would be the mistake. So Oba needs to survive him. That is the story. Let Brock throw everything at him. Suplex City, the F5s. Let Brock's face change. Not the entrance, not even the finish. The real money shot is Brock Lesnar realizing that Oba Femi won't stay down. That is how I think you really make the monster. And that is what WWE is essentially doing here. They're putting him in front of the most dangerous person. WWE needed the story to get bigger, clearly. They needed the danger to get louder. They needed fans to stop asking who Oba can beat and start asking what it actually takes to stop him. So when the people say Brock destroyed Oba Femi, I don't buy it. But Brock revealed the test. Oba already beat the beast once. Now he has to survive this version of him. This is like the final exam. And if Oba can't survive, then Brock was not the end of Oba's push. He was the proof that the push is real. And the question is simple. Did WWE make a mistake by bringing Brock back? Or did WWE just use Brock to create the one monster even Brock cannot stop?
Brock Lesnar is scared of Oba Femi!